chips to Spanky when Larry was holding the pocket nines hasn't got his adrenaline running hot and caused him to make that bad play. Larry Nicholas eliminated from the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. Okay, now here's another insight into poker, okay? What you got is you got horses in poker. You got a chunk of the action. You got a piece. So if you're not in the tournament, you own a piece of someone else. Your name?
My name is Canaris.
Who you got a piece of?
Dean Booton, the champion. Regina champion.
Dean's right over here in the red hat playing. He's playing, he's concentrating, he's focusing. He's all over the game. Come back over here. How many beer you had?
0.
I don't believe it.
No, it's 0 beers tonight.
How many rum?
Quite a few.
Hey, if you don't have to play, if all you got to do is cheer.
Yeah, it's so good.
Relax and enjoy.
I've actually trained Dean.
You've taught him everything else.
Yeah, in my own poker room at home.
Dean's gone. Just gone bust early on day 2. You never really kind of got it going. You were never
I was
real
up
short.
about 8,000 before dinner, and lost Pocket Kings. So that took me down to 10 and just 50-50 draws, not winning them. So
Yeah. You started day 2 a little shy and just never got a roll.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You playing tonight? Big tournament tonight?
Yeah, I'll play tonight.
Yeah, I'll play tonight. Mano a mano.
All right, man.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks, Dean.
It might be odd to cut, well, we'll probably cut it all up anyway. I'm Tina Taggart, and this is a CGTV Poker Moment. I'm here with Sylvia from Party Poker, and I have to ask you, how long did it take to plan the Canadian Poker Championship?
Well, this has been some months in the works. We originally approached with the idea last August, and immediately we decided to jump on the opportunity to have something unique for the Canadian market and bring players together, both offline players and online players, so they could participate in a tournament just for Canada.
This has been a CGTV Poker Moment.
Back to the action at the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. New player coming in. There's Jeff Cheevers, who was our only Canadian at the feature table. Shannon Shore, who's not old enough to play poker in the United States, here in the Bahamas. And here's our new Canadian coming into seat 4, David Toronto Matthew.
It might help them, man. It might help them.
Jeff kidding him about his Toronto Raptors shirt. Hey, Jeff, you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Button your zip. No Limit Hold'em is a little bit like rock, paper, scissors. And here comes David Matthew. You can see with a big stack of chips. And the players are going to look over. They're going to have chip envy. The little stacks will wonder how they can get to be a big stack. And you start to try and solve the puzzle. You start to ask yourself, what's that guy like? How does he play? How can I beat him? It's all a game of figuring out what your opponent is like. King of Clubs, 7 of Hearts for Glenn Blankenship in the big blind. Our new player, Toronto David Matthew, 9 of Hearts, 5 of Hearts under the gun. Not sure what he's thinking about. Queen 5 for David Gallant, the other blind. Under the gun raise with a 9 of Hearts, 5 of Hearts from David Matthews. Wants to make his presence known early. Shannon notes that he comes out swinging. Big slick for Jeff Cheevers again. We saw him double through with Big Slick against Larry Nicholas. What does Spanky want to do with his Big Slick this time?
I'm all in. This is all in.
Moving all in.
What's that?
The right play. He's got 9,000 chips, give or take.
Sick, man.
Back on to David Matthew, who's holding a 9 of Hearts and 5 of Hearts. I can't imagine that he would call this.
Yeah.
David asks,
It'd be nice if I can double
do you want me
up.
to call?
A little bit small. So
Jeff says, hey, I'd love to double up.
They might be on the same flight. You never know. They might be sitting beside me.
David says, hey, I'd like to send you home. And Jeff says, well, you know what? You might be sitting on the plane beside me. David's not going to call this. He's just giving this a little bit of Hollywood. He's communicating to the other players, I'm capable of raising under the gun with a legitimate hand and then folding. Now, of course, that's not the reality, but that's what he wants them to believe. I had a legit hand. His all-in move caused me to put it down. I'm a tight, aggressive player. That's the message he's trying to send. Loose and aggressive would be the proper description of David Matthews' play of that hand. Shannon Shore is puzzling over the new player. No Limit Hold'em is a bit of a rock, paper, scissors. You're always trying to figure out what is your opponent, what can I deploy that will beat him. David Winters, 10-5 offsuit. He will fold, of course. Spanky's out. Our chip leader, Weber King. Pocket tens in late position. He's going to raise. 2,000 to go from Weber. Jack 9 offsuit for David Gallant. He will fold to Glenn Blankenship with pocket sixes. And he will call. Toronto David Matthew folds. Rick Long folds to the flop. Pocket tens for Weber. Pocket sixes on the button for Glenn.
Did Destin get it bad from Katrina?
Weber will bet.
Not like it did.
2,000.
Pensacola got murdered by him. Katrina was not that bad for us.
Glenn will call. Glenn is thinking to himself, Weber has made a standard continuation bet. My sixes might be the best hand. Ace of diamonds on the turn. That's going to make this a difficult hand to play for both players. An ace pops off the deck, and it looks like a card that your opponent may have. Check, check. To the river. 9. The tens are still the best hand.
Check.
Glenn could probably win it with the bet. If he was to fire a bet, he'd pick up the pot.
Cards, please.
He'll check.
Tens and
Showdown
fives
and Weber
ace.
King's tens are good. We'll add more chips to our leader's already big stack. It's a funny thing, of course. On the outside, everyone smiles, enjoys themselves, but on the inside, you're looking over thinking, ugh. The last guy on earth I want getting more ammunition is that guy. Weber King, the chip leader, lengthening his lead at the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. Back to the action. Toronto David Matthew, the button in seat 4. Shannon Shore, the big blind. David Winters in early position. He's looking at an ace-queen offsuit. And he'll make it 1,500 to go. Pretty standard size raise. Weber King with a 4-5 of spades. Weber will call. Not an unusual call. We know that David Winters has lots of chips. We saw him bust Larry Nicholas. He's got lots of ammunition, deep chips. Pay the 1,500. Hope to hit a big flop. You can have position on the razor and win a big hand. Weber has the luxury of being able to make that play because he himself, of course, has lots of chips. 2,000. No delay at all from David Winters, having completely missed the flop. Weber has flopped second pair. He simply calls. Turn is a 9 of diamonds. Again, missing David Winters. Weber with the best hand. David's coming again for 5,000. That'll be tough for Weber to call. A lot of players will bluff once. They'll make the standard continuation bet on the flop and then stop. A lot of players don't have it in them to bluff a second time. Weber folds. Nice bet from David Winters. Weber showed weakness by just calling on the flop. David put the question to him a second time, and he winds up with a nice pot. We have seen David Winters make some very elegant plays since we got underway here at the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. Back to the action. David Winters is the button. Small blind to Jeff Cheevers in seat 9, and big blind Weber King in seat 1. Folded around to David Matthew, who's looking at a 9 of clubs, 8 of diamonds, and he will make it 1,000 to go. Ace of hearts, 6 of hearts for Rick Long immediately on David's left. He will re-raise, making it 2,000. Small re-raise, but he seizes control of the hand. David Winters folds. Spanky will fold his king 3 to the chip leader Weber in the big blind, and he also will